This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
You know the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
I was legitimately offended.
You were offended?
I was offended.
I didn't know you could get offended.
I was offended.
This did it.
I was absolutely offended.
They're fucking making shit up, Amin.
Inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail.
Bees don't lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm holding a mic in my hands, and now I'm talking all alone.
We usually do a little banter before, but Amin is at the American Airlines Arena. Well, I guess it's soon going to be the Bang Bros Center or whatever it was. I can't remember. But we
BBC, baby.
The BBC. Well, what we're doing today,
and we're deep in the BBC.
Oh boy,
right?
is we're doing a very special episode of Cinephobe, because what was it, about a week ago, Amin? Less than a week ago, you said I just came out of Gemini Man, right? That was your text to us.
It was Saturday, because Saturday afternoon, I was going to a wedding on Saturday in LA, but I had all day to kill. So I said, you know what, man? I've been putting this off for too long. Let me go down to the movie theater right next to my hotel, put down hard-earned American dollars to go watch the cinematic excellence that is The Joker. So I went and watched The Joker. And as I'm walking out of Joker, it was like 1 o'clock, and I saw 1:07 start time for Gemini Man. And I said, what the hell? Twofer. So I went in.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while, but it's always a great feeling, especially when you see a movie that you just would never pay money to go watch. Like, that's exactly what I have in here. So Gemini Man, I'm going to tell you right now, your box office numbers are actually depressed. They're artificially lower than what they really are, because I went in and I watched Gemini Man, but I did not pay to watch it.
Well, funny enough, I went to go see maybe The Joker. I went with our friend Mo Dakiel, and it was a same start time, Gemini Man and The Joker. And so we get to the theater, and I was like, man, you call it, like, we could just whatever you want. And he's like, Gemini Man? I was like, yeah, we'll do The Joker later in the week, right? He goes, yeah, we'll do Joker later in the week.
You guys actively chose.
We actively chose Gemini Man. Not just that, Amin. Not just that. We saw it in 3D.
Wow, you got me beat. I guess some of those action scenes might have been nicer with the 3D.
Let me tell you, they were not.
Oh, okay.
It was. I haven't seen a 3D movie since whenever Johnny Depp was in like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah, that was freaky.
That was the last one, or maybe Pacific Rim. I can't remember which one was.
No, Pacific Rim was definitely more recent.
Okay, then Pacific Rim was the last one. So I think those are the only 3 I've ever seen. I did not like it. I don't like the 3D experience.
I don't like 3D either. I think I went and saw Cars 3 in 3D, or one of those Disney movies. And it was only because the other one was either there was no seating, not enough seating, or it was like just not a convenient time. Usually I try to avoid 3D as much as possible. It doesn't really do it for me in general, even when it's done well.
it's distracting.
It is very, very.
Yeah,
and I keep taking off my glasses to see what it looks like.
Right, exactly.
Even though I know what it looks like, I keep doing it again and again.
So yes, that's this week's Cinephobe. As we saw the 2019 cloning thriller Gemini Man.
Let me ask you. So I'm really intrigued by this angle that you went in, and in the hockey face-off, Gemini Man beat the Joker.
Yeah.
This has happened to me, where it was one movie that turned out to be a huge blockbuster and another movie that was not so much. And it's happened to one other person that I know who's actually a coach in the NBA right now, but obviously this happened before he was a coach. Do either of you have a story like that before I tell these stories? Because these are awesome.
Maze, have you ever had to do the Sophie's Choice?
I just straight fucked up trying to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and ended up seeing Spider-Man Far From Home instead. I don't know if that counts.
That's pretty good though. You went and saw a good movie either way.
I feel like I tend to opt for the bad movie. Like I'm trying to narrow down a time where I've like had the good or the bad and I've opted with the bad. I feel like I always make the wrong decision, whatever it is. Dude,
let me tell you right now. My story is, it was me and one of my buddies from high school, and we were going to let's go to movies. We went to, and this is back when you didn't look it up on the internet. You just showed up at the movie theater and looked at like what's got the closest start times. So we get there, and it's Independence Day is one of the movies it's playing, and the other movie is Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Vanessa Williams.
No.
And I remember vividly the conversation about Independence Day looks dumb. Look how big that ship is. Why don't they just land? Why don't they just land it and they'll just destroy everybody? Like, you don't have to like fight these people. You just land the ship on the surface of the earth and you just squash everybody. And so he said, Eraser looks like it's more intriguing of a plot. And we went and watched Eraser instead of Independence Day.
Eraser is maybe a future Cinephobe because that movie is real bad.
You have been erased. I haven't watched it. You know, it's funny. Since I saw it in the theater, never watched it again. And the worst part is, I remember walking out of Eraser on that night, way back when in 1996, thinking to myself, I liked it.
Wow.
That was a good movie. I was like, okay, that was like, it was entertaining, it had action, it had some punchlines, some comedy. I liked it. I've not seen it since 1996 though, so it'd be interesting to revisit. Like, oh my God.
Maze, add it to the list because I really want to mean to.
Wait, does it qualify? First of all, is Eraser?
Yeah, 35%, 39% audience.
Dog shit movie. It's so bad.
You have been erased. It was the first time you saw the little sight on the laser on the gun that wasn't red. It was the first time it was green.
Yeah, they had like the night vision, like infrared night vision. You know, almost like because they're trying to shoot hearts, right? With like this pulse.
Yeah, because it was a special gun, right? Like a gun. Oh man, yeah. That's
James Caan. Is James Caan the bad guy in that? Spoiler alert.
When did he stop being Jimmy Caan and just become James Caan?
I think around the program. I think that's when he became James Caan.
Hold on, I got to give you one more Sophie's Choice that trumps even mine. I got a buddy, I will not name his name. He's a coach in the NBA. He said he went with his brother to the movies and they had two options. One was Jurassic Park and the other was Cop and a Half. They came out on the same day and they went and saw Cop and a Half. Yes.
No. Oh my God.
Cop and a Half. And swore it was worth it.
I mean, not over Jurassic Park.
Over Jurassic Park. They thought Jurassic Park looked dumb. I believe he told me he didn't see Jurassic Park until like 10 years later when it was on video. He went and saw Cop and a Half. I feel at least Eraser had like star power. Right? Arnold, Vanessa Williams was really big. Her album was out at the time. It was like a big deal. Jimmy Caan.
Well, I did. So this doesn't count. I did see Mystery Men over The Sixth Sense.
Why doesn't it count?
Because within an hour before going to go see The Sixth Sense, my grandma, who you sent to hell, had called, asked what I was doing. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go see The Sixth Sense." She goes, "Oh, that's the one where they're all dead in the end, right?" And so she had ruined the movie for me. Well, this is back before spoilers were out.
But that's not really ruining because you didn't know if that meant like all the characters die at the end or. Like,
I felt like I had figured it out, so I didn't see The Sixth Sense until about 4 years ago.
I figured out Sixth Sense within like 15 minutes of Bruce Willis being on screen. I remember saying it out loud in the theater. Oh, he's not alive. And I just figured it out, like, because nobody else was talking to him other than the kid. It was just one of those things that was like it just was immediately apparent to me. Like, there was no suspense for me. That's why I don't like M. Night Shyamalan movies. They're all dumb.
They're usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Bad twists. So Gemini Man stars Will Smith, who's coming off the live action version of Aladdin from earlier this year. He's going to be in Bad Boys for Life next year.
Yeah.
He plays
future, you mean future Cinephobe nominee Bad Boys for Life?
I'm worried. I'm really worried.
Be worried. It's got a either January or February release date for a blockbuster action movie.
Man.
That means it is a complete flop.
Yeah. Oh no, that's gonna be bad. Will Smith plays Henry Brogan. He also plays his cloned self, Junior. Junior. It also stars Clive Owen as Clay Ferris, who is the evil boss of Gemini, some kind of private security, private military,
Black Ops kind of.
Black Ops, yeah.
Wouldn't that make Will Smith's clone Clay Ferris Jr.? Because that's his
you would
pop.
think, right? Yeah, it's
pop.
Surprisingly, not one of the 10 biggest plot holes in this movie is the naming of this character. Clive recently starred in Song of Names and The Informer both this year, and then the other two notable people are Mary Elizabeth Winstead, plays Danny Zakaruski. She was known from 10 Cloverfield Lane. She was also in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and she's John McClane's daughter in Live Free or Die Hard.
Die Hard, that's right. Yeah,
plays Lucy Gennaro McClane.
I knew she looked familiar. I just couldn't quite place her. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was another movie I've seen that. Yeah, now it makes sense. Also, I submit to Maze and to everybody, we need to start calling Zach Zakaruski from now on.
Wait, we're all gonna go Rob Schneider now? Is that what we're doing?
Zakaruski, the Zakinator.
You'll also notice Benedict Wong as Baron in this movie. He plays Wong in the Doctor Strange and Marvel universe.
That's awesome. He was,
which I hear is not real cinema. I mean,
according to some guy with massive eyebrows who makes hacky movies.
Oh, they're so artistic.
Upon themselves.
Also the guy who made the movie Jack and Godfather 3.
Yeah.
That guy also agreed with him. The movie is directed by Ang Lee, who directed Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hulk, Wolfpack Mountain, Life of Pi.
I feel like for Cinephobe, you have to lead with the Hulk.
Oh, you have to lead with Hulk? Okay.
That's the movie.
Wait, which one? The Eric Bana one?
Yeah, Eric Bana one.
Okay,
the one
I didn't even look.
Yeah, not that. Ed Norton one was good. He did the one that wasn't good.
Well, speaking of Ed Norton, this movie was written by David Benioff, who wrote 25th Hour, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Kite Runner, and ruined Game of Thrones.
Exactly. That's all because this is Cinephobe. You don't name all that other shit.
I'm punctuating it.
This is the guy who ruined Game of Thrones. And I was like, yep, this is what you were doing in your spare time.
And Amin, he is attached to writing the 2022 Star Wars movie.
I know.
Are you worried?
I'm extremely worried. But one thing I love about Star Wars is they ain't afraid to fire somebody.
That's true. That's true. They'll get him the fuck out of there. Yeah. They'll get him out. There's also a writing credit for Billy Ray, not the singer, known for Color of Night, Volcano, Flight Plan, The Hunger Games, Captain Phillips, and the soon-to-be-released Terminator Dark Fate.
That looks terrible, too. That looks like a future Cinephobe. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They got me once Linda Hamilton walked out of the SUV in slow motion with a giant gun. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, I was until Arnold answers the door as a very old Arnold. I'm like, wait a second.
Why would he be retired? Why would Arnold be in a cottage?
Why would the robot age, and why would the robot age and then retire to a cottage out in the country? Yeah.
Okay. Synopsis for Gemini Man. An over-the-hill hitman faces off against a younger clone of himself with the tagline, "Who will save you from yourself?" Is that Jewel? Maze? Is that a Jewel lyric?
Oh, man.
Who will save
that's Save Your Soul. Yeah, damn it. So close.
Well, although we guess, who will save you from yourself?
Rolls right off the tongue. $138 million budget. Has grossed 37 US, 119 worldwide, but as Maze let us know, over $100 million in marketing.
What?
Over $100 million in marketing. I mean,
they did really put it everywhere. I saw it everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
But also, just want to throw this out there: $37 million in the U.S. $37 million. $37 million and $14. Sorry, you guys are getting underreported there. Don't let lamestream media keep you down, Gemini Man.
Or take that 14 off. All right, we jump in this movie. Gemini Man is in theaters, but it probably won't be for long. I'd go rush and see it if you're worried about that. It receives a 25% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's dropping.
On 269 reviews.
It was 32 when I told you guys, Gemini Man isn't doing that well, right? I think it was 32.
I think it was low 30s for sure.
And so it's dropped to 25 now.
Dropped to 25, except Amin, the audience. Over 6,300 ratings, 84%, except I got something for you on this. It is bots.
Yeah.
It is bots, because I am reading the audience reviews. They are all the same. They're all one line. I was on the edge of my seat. Love the ending. Great ending. Like they're all bots.
The ending?
Yes.
Like look, if I really want to play devil's advocate and say this movie wasn't that bad, and I won't lie, there were times where I thought to myself actively, this isn't a good movie, but I'm also not falling asleep, which is always a risk when I'm in a movie theater. It's dark and those seats are so comfortable. But I was like, all right, like, okay, you have me paying attention at least. The ending is definitely not one of those times.
No, the ending is the worst part, which says a lot. All right, let's get into the reviews. We'll do the good reviews first, which, I mean, even the good reviews, I don't know, man. It's not great. Maze, here's a review. Weldon B. Johnson of the Arizona Republic, Amin's neck of the woods. If you're a fan of action movies, or you've ever pondered the questions of nature versus nurture, or even what you'll tell your younger self if you had a chance, you'll enjoy Gemini Man. Maze, is that a positive review?
That sounds like a psychiatrist.
It does. And by the way, this review was positive because it was a 2.5 out of 4, which doesn't feel. I mean, that doesn't feel like math.
There
to
you
me.
go.
Yeah,
you're over 50. That's positive.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I guess that is legally positive. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune. Gemini Man isn't bad, but two Will Smiths, when one of them is a computer animated, somehow feels like 66 to 75% of a real movie. That's a positive review. That one.
Okay, I'm trying to parse that. So it doesn't even specify if it's 60 to 70% of a good movie. It's just a real movie. So that means that 30% of it isn't real?
Anywhere from 25 to 34% of the movie isn't real. And it isn't bad, but he doesn't say it's good. And that's with two Will Smiths, with one of them computer animated. David Sims of the Atlantic. Lee is innovating and looking backwards at the same time, and the viewing experience is as bewildering as that sounds. That's a positive review.
So, like, here's the thing about all these positive reviews. They all sound like they were being made while Will Smith and or Ang Lee was sitting right in front of these people. If you pondered nature versus nurture, right? Like, it's like 66% of a real movie. Like, all of these are very heavily couched positive reviews.
So for the negative ones, Christy Lemire of Film Week, like an assault on your eyeballs. Maybe you get used to it, but you shouldn't. Some of the action is fun, but it's really hard to get past the look of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's unsettling. Charlotte O'Sullivan of London Evening Standard. Obviously, the dire dialogue doesn't help, but what blunts Smith's performance and makes the film itself hell to watch is the innovative ultra-high frame rate, which renders actors, objects, and even the air somehow flimsy and weird and fake.
Yes.
So I had a question about this too. Like, I couldn't tell if that was the 3D I was watching, because it's been so long since I watched a 3D movie.
No, that was the movie.
That's the movie, okay.
Because every time in the fight scene, I'm like, okay, like, all right, y'all gonna fight, that's cool. But the CGI Will Smith moved like, I don't know if they were trying to emphasize, he moves so quick.
Yeah, he's so young and agile, right?
But it just looked like a cartoon almost. Like,
I mean, Mo said after the movie, he was like, I feel like I just watched a Call of Duty video game.
Not even Call of Duty. The movements are more natural.
More natural, yeah, that's probably true. Justin Chang of the LA Times, no matter how many presumably non-computer generated tears Will Smith sheds, he and Lee never transformed this baby hitman into a plausible scientific fiction conceit, let alone invest him with a soul. They really do try to give him a soul, too. They try to give him emotions.
But they just try to rush to it, and their version of giving him a soul was just having him say, "What's the deal, Pop? Hey, Pop." Which, by the way, there's a Family Guy episode. I was trying to find this clip, and I couldn't find it. It's Stewie, and he's screwed something up. And they're trying to, him and Brian are trying to hide what's going on, and from Peter. And Peter walks in, and he's angry. And Stewie's response, because he's trying to be inconspicuous, say, "Hey, Pop, what's going on?" He says it in it's just the most unnatural way, because Stewie obviously never talks like that. But I don't think anyone calls anyone their father Pop. Hey, Pop. Unless you're like Beaver Cleaver or whatever.
I've literally never even thought to call my dad Pop.
Pop. Hey, Pop.
There's no way.
It wasn't even a cool Pops. What's up? It was, hey, Pop. It was like,
it's very meek for a hitman. He's a hitman.
It's Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
Hey, Pop. We're going to the park today, Pop. You took me hunting, Pop.
Allison Wilmore of New York Magazine. Sometimes it's difficult to know where to look. In one dramatic shootout in a store, I couldn't stop staring at the perfectly visible selection of chips lining the shelves they dove past.
It sounds like every reviewer went cross-eyed watching this movie.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It really is distracting. Yeah, it's 100% distracting. I'm glad to know that it wasn't just my 3D choice.
No, that was
of it being distracting. Rex Reed of The Observer, the plot makes no sense. The dreary script is dead on arrival, and Smith is just as blank and lost at 23 as he is at 51.
That's a little harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was a little rude. And then Thomas Floyd, I got two more. Thomas Floyd of the Washington Post. Unfortunately for Smith, Lee, and the writing team, all the computer-generated Botox in the world can't smooth over the wrinkles of dated storytelling. And then
someone wants to be a writer.
Someone was really trying there. And then Mike LaSalle of the San Francisco Chronicle. You know what? I wouldn't want to get into a fist fight with my younger self either. I think he'd win, but I don't need to go to a movie for such a startling insight. You think Mike has lost a step?
I think Mike wasn't paying attention to the movie.
Yeah.
Because he kind of beat his younger self.
Right. Yeah, he really did best him at all times, right?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. All right, so you and I didn't make notes like we normally would with this movie because we're in a movie theater. But I do want to discuss.
How many people were in the theater?
So it was me, it was Mo, there was a guy to my right, there were two people to Mo's left, and there were maybe three people scattered in front of us.
You guys went midweek, right, in Los Angeles?
We went Monday at 2 p.m.
I went Saturday, 1:07 p.m. start time, prime time. There was a guy in the last row, all the way in the corner. I just assumed he was there to beat off inside.
Yeah, you got to beat off, right?
Right. There was one more person behind me, and then in front of me, to my right, it looked like a family of four.
Oh,
and yes, they were black.
I mean, I wanted to ask.
Waz every passing week. Big Waz's theory that black people have terrible taste in movies, and TV. I mean, it just keeps getting proven over and over again.
As a white man, I've always wondered, if I could broach the subject. But I do, I've seen Power.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I don't understand people who like it.
I understand people who like it. It started off not as bad as it is now. And
it's worse?
Worse.
I got through maybe 6 episodes of the first season, and then I tapped out.
It is a million times worse now. But here's the big thing about Power, is I never thought in a million years, even though I thought, there are people who like it because it's nice escape or whatever. I never thought in a million years we'd arrive at a place of idiocracy where people are saying Power is better than The Wire. Like Jason Tatum.
That can't be.
And Rajon Rondo said it too.
No,
and you know what? No, I mean, is he trolling? He's got to be trolling to say that.
Oh man, he's got to be. I mean, come on. Even the worst season of The Wire is. Is at least better than what I saw.
No, I mean, let me put it in the last episode of Power, and we talked about this on the Bomb Overflow. So if you're a Patreon, go ahead and take the overflow for our review of Power's last episode. In the latest episode, there is a character who basically signs over to become state's witness so that she can keep custody of her son. And while she's packing up her house to escape, her friend shows up and walks in, looks at the armoire that's right by the door, and that paper is lying there face up. And she's like, what's this? Like, oh no, it's not what you think it is. And then a fight ensues. And I'm just like, how lazy of a writer do you have to be? Like, well, how's she going to find out that she signed the document? Why don't we just left it out there? Because, right, you carry it and you put it right as soon as you walk in the door. Let me set this right here while I get everything else together. Anyways.
All right. So I figure I would just ask questions about the movie. And Maze, if you have any questions as you hear us, please chime in. First question I have was, I immediately, about 10 minutes in, thought of the movie Sin City. I thought Sin City was a terrible movie. I didn't get it. It didn't do it for me. I thought, no, but when I watched it, I was like, okay, visually this is stunning, right? It looks like a comic book, but a live action comic book. I appreciated the way, but I thought this gimmick has run old about 15, 20 minutes into the movie. And that's how I felt with the way that this looked in Gemini Man.
Did Gemini Man started with the whole scene?
The train, right?
The train assassination, which I thought it was nice. Like, I watched it and I wasn't like, this is terrible. I was like, all right, like, okay. Got an assassinate. Oh, this guy's an assassin. I get it. I knew that going into the movie. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. I thought the physics was kind of like unbelievable that any regular human being could hit a shot like that.
Just move the gun so abruptly and right, yeah. But
like, I was cool with everything because so what happens is he kills this guy, he does the assassination, and then he comes home and apparently the fact that he had to make this adjustment at the last second and he shot the guy, but he shot him in the neck as opposed to the head. It's really thrown him off. He's like, this is a sign that there was
a little girl that delayed him taking the shot.
Yeah.
So he was like worried about hurting. He's like, I could have missed. I got lucky.
Yeah. The whole thing is like, I'm clearly losing a step. And when you start to lose a step, that's when you need to get out. So his buddy from the agency, by the way, why do they call it the defense, the DIA instead of CIA? Why do they have to?
That's a great question. I don't really know. Yeah,
a lawsuit was on the way from the CIA. No, it's it's called the DIA. They'll never figure it out, right? So his buddy tries to talk him out of it. He's like, "No, I'm retiring. That's it. I'm gonna go fishing or whatever." So he goes on a fishing expedition with his buddy, who tells him the person that he killed turns out that was the wrong target. Like, no, it was the right target. We had him. He's like, yeah, but he's not a terrorist. He's actually like a scientist from right here in the United States. They told him he was a Russian terrorist, but it really wasn't. And so, like, now it's like, oh, you got to go talk to this other person. Like, up until this point, Zach, you're not thinking when they're on the boat, like, okay, like, this is now I don't call it a plausible storyline, but it is a Hollywood plot that, like, I won't say captures your imagination, but, like, holds your imagination and holds your attention. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Like, it's a little Mission Impossibly, right? But it's fine.
Impossibly is a good way. So to me, it starts going off the rails when the girl who's quote unquote working at the bait shop.
Yeah, Danny Zakharowski.
Yeah, that's when I'm like.
That's okay. Cause she's there, she's filling in all of a sudden, and he kind of figures it out once he realizes he's being spied on from the sky, and he goes in there and he interrogates her. Like, he knows that she's burned, right? Calls her Toast. Yeah, is burnt toast. That's a clever little nickname. And because he has figured it out, and they have figured out that he has talked to this guy. Who has let him know that hit wasn't the hit he thought it was. Now they're going to go kill him. And like, even the action on that, it was all right. Like that action was okay. Like them trying to go get him. He defends himself. Her action was the dialogue was corny while she was fighting and everything with like, oh, you're going to lose your teeth or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't get that. Like, so you could tell me now or tell me in 5 minutes after you've lost your teeth.
I think he was going to pull teeth because she came out and she had teeth in her hand when she had defeated that guy.
I mean, I just thought she punched him in the mouth and knocked his teeth
That's
out.
what I would have thought too, but I guess it's more of a 24 situation.
But then they left all these people alive?
Yeah.
Like, they were trying to come... Like, here's the thing. Like, I've got a real simple rule. If someone is trying to kill me, and I possess within my means lethal force, I'm not leaving you tied up with some teeth in my hand.
Right. Well, I guess they don't want to kill if they don't have to kill. I mean, I don't know.
They try to kill you when you.
I don't know what the DIA's policy is on this stuff. Okay, if it was the CIA, I think they kill them. I think that's how that
Tremendous.
works.
So, anyways, so they send all these people to go kill him. It doesn't work. So this is what Clive Warren's character is telling the woman who's the deputy director of the DIA that, basically she's sloppy and her people are sloppy and they need to use Gemini, which is his black ops private contractor assassin unit. And which at the time I thought he meant it was the name of the project, the cloning project. Because it makes sense, Gemini, right? Like twins.
Right. Yeah, I thought they were referring to younger. I thought they were referring to Junior as Gemini.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like, okay, let's enact Gemini protocol. I thought it was like a program that the government was working on that like hadn't been tested yet, but they were ready to kind of finally roll it out. And instead, no, that's just the name of his company. The guy's a private contractor, sleazeball. It's just like hitting the government up saying, look, you guys doing the slop. We could do it better for cheaper or whatever. And then, of course, they don't do it better. And it's never cheaper. They're just a bunch of crooks.
Yeah, it's a lot of Vincent D'Onofrio in Jurassic World vibes, right? He's trying to get control of the Raptors for his own gain with the Army.
Yeah.
So what makes younger Will Smith, or is Will Smith the Gemini Man, or is younger Will Smith the Gemini Man?
Younger Will Smith is.
Well, he's not even the Gemini Man. He's a man that was created by the Gemini program. I mean, the Gemini company.
So is the Gemini Man Clive Owen?
No, well, I mean, here's the other thing. The Gemini company isn't even like specifically for cloning. They actually do a lot of like mercenary assassin type stuff, but the cloning is one of the programs that they've been working on. So I guess Clive Warren would be the Gemini Man, I guess, because he's the man in charge of Gemini.
Definitely wasn't a diamond in the rough and I man,
Wow.
No, that was no good. Okay. So it would have been a better movie, and I don't know how you market it this way, right? But it would have been a better movie if we didn't know it was his younger self going into it.
Oh, no, you can't market it. The whole point
I don't know how you market it any other way, but
you wanted the twist. You wanted the twist because when they first send him out to go kill him, he's wearing a mask.
Right, but you know it's him.
You know it's him, but the whole point is he doesn't know it's him until like he catches a glimpse like that dude looks real familiar.
Yeah. And so I mean, I will say this. Look, they have like a little, hopping on rooftops, going through stairwell type of battles and stuff, chase scene. It's good action. And then when he goes hand-to-hand combat with using a motorcycle, I openly laughed in the theater.
Yeah, and then he's like trying to stomp him with the motorcycle.
I mean, he almost roundhouse kicks him with the motorcycle.
I remember looking at it like that. You can't do that. It doesn't work like that. Like he roundhouse kicked him with a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's just trying to stomp him out with a motorcycle. I mean, basically using it like it's a baton.
Yeah.
I'm having fun trying to imagine this.
Oh,
it's.
And by the way, it's not even like well done CGI where you're like, it's so cartoonish. It's so cartoonish that it's just. The other funny thing about that, I just remembered what this movie is attempting to be a shitty version of.
Looper?
Orphan Black.
Oh yes.
Orphan Black. Now that's the show that Orphan Black. It was a show. I guess it was on BBC. I remember watching it on BBC America.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a woman and she meets what she thinks is her twin, and it turns out it's a clone. And big spoiler alert. It's a great show. It's funny. It's a great show. But the only way she's been cloned, right? But the clone is different, very different in personality and all that. And it turns out it's part of a bigger thing. So I hope I didn't spoil too much there.
No,
but
cloning's also very in. Living with Yourself is a new Netflix show with Paul Rudd.
yeah, that's the one with Tom Brady coming out the massage parlor.
Yeah, I just watched it over the last couple of days. Fantastic show.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, really, really, I think smartly done. Way different than Gemini Man.
Oh.
So yeah, then we just basically get into a lot of they're trying to figure out why this guy's been why he was cloned, why it's him.
Which doesn't seem to be that hard. He was the best assassin they had. Hey, let's keep it going for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Right.
But why male models is all I can keep thinking of. Like, are you serious? I just explained it to you.
And like there's this weird like little side thing of Will Smith is deathly allergic to bees. Like he dramatically kills a bee. Dramatically kills a bee, and then one of the go ahead.
He's afraid of water, afraid of drowning.
Right, because his dad like tried to drown him or something. I didn't really understand that.
Like he tried to teach him how to swim, and he almost drowned.
And then Clive Owen made him drown.
Yeah, like
when he was a young soldier and brought him back to life, and basically was like, "I own you now."
Because I feel like they're kind of even. If someone almost kills you and then saves you from that,
we're dead even. I mean, if that happens between us, no one owes either one.
Yeah.
And so, but like the B part that comes back is it only has a small payoff twice of like, first he helps convince the clone that he's a clone by explaining to him things he could only know about himself. And one of those is we're deathly allergic to bees. And then the other one is the clone, tracks him down, shoots him with a bullet or a dart that has bee venom in it, but then saves him with an EpiPen to make sure. I don't even know what the point of that was. It was a way to subdue him, right?
But like, I believe like a conversation probably could have got it done because it's not like they were actively trying to kill him. And the clone I don't know. It was just the whole thing in the crypt.
Right, so they go and they fight in the catacombs, and I think that was just a way to like have them crashing into a bunch of skulls. I think that's what that was. They fall into the water at one point. He tries to drown old Will Smith, or he is drowning old Will Smith, and Danny Zacharuski shoots him in the shoulder, and he goes swimming off in the catacombs, and he's screaming the whole time, "I'm not you! I'm not you!" because he won't accept that he's a clone.
But also, if I found out I was a clone of someone, particularly a young clone of myself or whatever, I don't feel any affinity towards you, man. Fuck you, like.
Right, exactly. I'm the new one. Right, yeah. Like I'm the new hotness. Like that's what I like. You're out. They got rid of you for a reason. Yeah, I don't like. It is this weird. Do clones have souls thing? Do they have feelings? Like I don't know. What was it in the Clone Wars? They have souls?
It turns out like they all had personalities.
Okay.
They're all different and stuff, and some of them were good guys and some of them were dicks and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, they all knew they were clones and they weren't like looking for Django or Boba Fett or anything like that. They were just, all right, I guess we're in the army now. Like, let's do this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, and then we basically just get to, they're in a small town. Here's the final battle. They're on the same side. Clive Owen tries to kill him with the Gemini team.
Which are not clones. They're
just highly trained mercenary soldiers, right? And they take them all out, and then this super soldier comes in and starts like kicking their ass and can't be beaten and everything. And they finally like gun him down and take off the mask. It's another clone of Will Smith.
Yeah. That was
his name Trey?
No.
If one's Junior.
No, because remember when they confront Clive Warren about it, they say
Clive
Owen.
Yeah.
You know what I just did? Do you guys remember? Do you guys ever watch or listen to the Ricky Gervais podcast?
Yeah.
Remember Carl Pilkington on it once pitched a movie. He said, "I got a movie that like Hollywood, it's so easy." And he said, "Who do you got in the movie?" And he says, "It's Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay." And Ricky loses over Clive Warren. He's like, "You mean Clive Owen?" He's like, "Oh yeah, whatever his name is." He laughed, and then he said, "Who else is in it?" And he says, "Rebecca De Mornay." And Ricky's like, she hasn't been in a movie like 25 years. Rebecca in the morning.
She hasn't been in movies since like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Yeah. So I every time someone says Clive Owen, I always think Clive Warren, and I probably did.
But Clive is like they reveal it's him. It's another one, right? He's like
let me ask a question. Is this third version of Will Smith like beefier?
Even better. Not beefier, more agile, more nimble.
But
like
physically exactly the same.
Was he younger? He had a different haircut. He had a different haircut.
I do think he looked a little younger.
He did look younger, right?
Yeah.
I thought as much, which makes sense because they would have started the clone after this clone.
Right.
Yeah. But this clone is like 25, so like how much younger can you be and still be good at killing people?
Exactly. And then there's like a whole like almost back-ass words like Thanos vibe to it of Clive Warren saying, I'm creating all these clone soldiers because now Americans don't have to get hurt in wars and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's this like really half-assed like attempt of like, I'm doing good.
Also, he tells Junior that, no, he's different. He's just a clone. You're my son.
Right, exactly, because he raised him and all this stuff and all this shit. And then, Junior wants to kill Clive Owen and Will Smith won't let him, and then Will Smith kills him.
Yeah, I know he gives a whole speech about how like it'll stay with you forever.
Yeah, stay with you never. Yeah, you can still go to college.
Yeah.
And then he does go to college.
That's the end that all the bots said they love.
The ending is he goes to college, and then old Will Smith just shit talks him. Like, oh, we can run a race right now. I'm beautiful. I'm way better looking than you. Like, you hope you look as good as me someday. Like, it's just this weird, like, Will Smith trying to be Fresh Prince.
Well, not only that, but he also saw Junior walking with all them hoes on campus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
And meanwhile, we still don't know whether him and Zakaruski are they playing. Like, they kind of like they hint at it a couple of times. Where
I'm never gonna fucking forgive David Benioff for naming her Danny Zakaruski because I know this isn't the last time I'm gonna hear it.
Zakaruski.
It's way worse than ruining Game of Thrones.
Zakaruski the Zekinator.
No, you're right, but there's like this hint that maybe he wants to fuck her, maybe he doesn't want to fuck her.
And maybe she wants to fuck him because
right. Maybe she wants to fuck him. Of course.
Wait, old Will Smith or young Will Smith?
Old
Will Smith.
Okay.
You know what I thought was? You know what I thought was going to happen?
That's how they lure him. That's how they lure the clone.
Yeah, because they knew he'd like her.
You know, like, how do you know? It's like, yeah, and he gives it like this old man
type,
vibe.
You're his type.
My dick is like what it likes. Which leads me to ask this question to both of you guys. Has your dick consistently liked the same type of woman throughout your entire life?
Yes.
No, it varies.
Yes, unfortunately.
Really? Oh, Maze. Whoa. Okay.
No, for Maze, it's available. My dick always loves an available woman. Yeah.
I mean, same. You know, I can't. If we're being honest.
I feel bad if my dick only likes taking women. That would be a rougher road, I think.
Oh well.
It depends on for who.
I was about to say that leads us to one of the great bomb conversations of all time: dirty macking. Check out that episode where we're talking about dirty macking.
No, and so like. I honestly thought the fucked up thing was going to be that she starts dating the younger one. I thought that was going to be the thing.
Why would that be fucked up? Doesn't that make more sense?
Because he's a clone.
So what?
No, it's not even that he's a clone. It's the idea that like the old one has been putting in all the work and charming and flirting and getting her to be attracted, and she says, "You are kind of sexy, but I want the younger one." I was like, but he turned into my man from Office Space. Asking about his stapler.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and that's in the movie. So all right, question for you.
Actually, you turned into the dude from Dodgeball. He says, you can't join the regional qualifiers already happened. You're not allowed to. Oh, and we get the regional qualifiers. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. The commissioner is a dear old friend.
You know it's played by the same guy, right?
Milton was my man too.
Stephen Root.
Yeah, Stephen.
You know what I think of? When I think of him, every time I see him, I always think of him as the dude in True Blood.
I've never seen True Blood. I saw one episode of True Blood and I was out.
True Blood was good, and then until it wasn't.
The part I honestly don't even think I saw the whole episode. I saw where a vampire is a virgin, but the like Hyman grows back every
She
time
go
she
back
has sex.
every time she
Yeah,
has
so
sex.
I was like, all right, I'm good on this. I don't need to watch this.
She was pretty hot too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think that's why I stayed on the channel at first. All right,
Charming Southern accents.
So we agree that it's way too distracting the way it's shot, right?
Yeah. By the way, that last scene when he's at college, young Will. That's the first time where I'm looking at him in the face in the daylight, I guess, and it's like, oh my god, this CGI is terrible.
It's really bad.
Because
it's really,
at nighttime,
really bad.
that the shadows are able to kind of like keep it look like, oh, so that's Will Smith when he's younger, yeah. But like once they're out in the open at the bright sunlight, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
CGI is awful.
It reminded me of I don't know if it was prosthetics or CGI, but how they made Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Looper look. Like, because he had to have a little more familiarity to Bruce Willis in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was always distracting to me in that.
Yeah, I think it was CGI because I remember like there's a glitch with the nose or something.
Yeah. My other question for you. Is the action porn green screen stuff just boring to us now? Or was this just so poorly done?
This was poorly done.
Okay. That's fair. I'm open to the idea.
Let me put it this way. This is how poorly done it was. Think about like the action, like the end fight in Avengers Endgame, right? Like none of it looked as ridiculous as any of the fight scenes in this movie.
Right, that's true.
And that's what people flying and like superpowers and all that. Like none of that stuff looked as ridiculous as my man with the motorcycle with the roundhouse kick.
Right, that's true. And then when the third one comes in, that like he's doing like all these pirouettes in the air and stuff, and
there was a lot of unnecessary flipping too. Like they'd be running, chasing somebody, and then they flip and like somersault and like roll and then get up and keep running. I'm like, what was that for?
Yeah, man. It was like just like we saw a parkour video. We want to add this in. All right, other question. Would this movie have been? Oh wait, I'll actually ask that later. What happened to Clive Owen? He used to be a good actor, right?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up earlier.
Like he's really exceptionally bad in this movie.
He did The Nick for 2 years, which people liked. It was that Cinemax show
like
that Soderbergh directed.
Dennis or something like that or whatever. Yeah.
But I think before that, like his heyday was obviously Children of Men and like Inside Man, which is 14 years ago. I'm looking it up, but yeah, it's like I thought he like stopped acting for a while.
I mean, it kind of felt like, if that's true, if he stopped acting, I took about a month off of writing this summer and then had to jump into like season preview stuff for The Athletic, and it took me a long time of writing that stuff to get back in the groove of it. So this might have been his first movie back.
All right, so we got Children of Men and Inside Man in 2006. All right, 13 years ago. Here's all his movies since: Shoot 'Em Up, Elizabeth the Golden Age,
I like Shoot 'Em Up,
The International, Duplicity, The Boys Are Back, Trust, Killer Elite, Intruders, Shadow Dancer, Hemingway and Gellhorn, Blood Ties, Words and Pictures, Last Nights, The Confirmation, Ophelia, Valerian and a City of a Thousand Planets, Anon, The Informer, The Song of Names, and Gemini Man. So I haven't even seen any of that.
Some of those, I saw Valerian. Valerian's terrible. Some of these movies sound very like
Netflix Nick Cage. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's like not even Nick Cage. It's like a specific brand. It's like, Steven Seagal, Tom Sizemore.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And DMX, or like some rapper. Like
Tom Berenger.
And then a rapper. Who's the rapper?
Right.
Like Berenger.
Tom Berenger with Chingy. Like,
yes. And The Informer. Like...
like I was like, whatever you think of Will Smith as an actor at this point is fine, right? Like, but I didn't expect him to be this bad in it.
No,
but I didn't expect Clive Owen to be as horrendous as he was.
I think I figured out the Will Smith the formula. This is how you know if Will Smith is in a good movie or not. Is this movie sci-fi based?
Right.
If the answer is yes, bad Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
If the answer is no, good Will Smith movie.
Well, so did you see the live action Aladdin? I never saw it, but I heard it was good.
He did a good job. Look, it's really, especially he did a good job, especially considering he's got to fill in like pretty big shoes. Like it's really
yeah.
hard.
You gotta match Robin Williams, right? Or come close to it.
But like what I liked about him is that he didn't try to be Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't gonna work. It was almost like he was the Fresh Prince of Genie.
Okay.
So it was a lot of the jokes and kind of like making fun of like Aladdin's like way of talking to ladies and stuff like that. Like it was within Will Smith's comfort zone, and it was funny and it was charming. Like, look, it was a shot-for-shot remake. Like there were like ad-libs in there that they kept in.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna tell you it was like a mind-blowing experience, but it's also why I'm like, why does Disney keep doing this? I guess why do people keep paying Disney to keep doing this is the bigger question. But it was entertaining. He was good. But guess what? No sci-fi in that movie.
Right. Well, then, Amin, Bad Boys for Life, in theory, no sci-fi.
Oh, no, but that's terrible.
It's going to be all right.
That's just terrible.
My next question, is Will Smith okay?
No.
You think he's doing all right?
Oh, like money-wise? Or like
I'm just in general.
No. You see his Instagram, he's way too, like, manic.
I gotta be honest. I mean, his Instagram pulled me back in.
He's manic. But you don't think he's manic?
He's manic. But then it made me think, like, all right, I found him manic in the Fresh Prince days. If I saw him on Instagram all the time,
here's my question for you guys: is Will Smith currently the least successful member of his family?
No.
How's Willow doing?
Hell no. Well, Jaden's having a good little run. But Jaden doesn't make like a drop in the bucket of what Will made on Gemini Man alone. I'm
not talking about money. I'm talking about like
critical acclaim.
Like Jada's got her show right on Facebook.
Will Smith, I guess at the bare minimum, you tell me if they walk through the airport, who's going to get mobbed the most? It's going to be Will. Now it might be because of like past glory. He might be living off the scrapbook, but by far, nobody. You could combine all of them, and they still wouldn't reach the level.
I'm just wondering if there's some insecurity for him right now because he's on a big comeback right now, right? Because the Bad Boys are coming back and stuff.
But is he? Because everything he puts out's a flop.
Other than Aladdin.
But he's trying.
Right.
He's trying to make
Disney,
it happen.
Like Disney is flop proof with this stuff, right?
And also he like is a supporting role, right? Exactly. It's like people saying that like Eddie Murphy's got his. Is like he's gearing up for a big comeback. My Name is Dolomite comes out this week on Netflix.
Right.
And he's got a stand-up deal with Netflix and all that. And so it's a big comeback. Some people are like, well, it's not really a comeback because he's in all those Shrek movies and he did well. Like, yeah, he was. But he wasn't like he was a supporting character, much like the genie in Aladdin.
Okay. And then my last question then is I'm glad you asked that, Maze. Would this movie have been better with Jaden Smith as Junior?
No, because he's a physically unimposing human being.
What if he just like went through the Muhammad Ali training and got jacked for this movie?
That kid is slight.
I know he's slight. But like, let's just say for a year, for a year, he gets away from the Jada slightness, and he just goes and just works out and HGHs and all that stuff for a year to get ready for this role.
I don't think that fits Jaden's profile. Just become a juice head.
I did it for you, Pop.
I think it's a legitimate question though, because it's so bad with him as his younger self.
Is he saying that Will Smith did a shitty job of playing himself?
He was horrible playing himself. Look, man, this is as bad as After Earth, in my opinion.
No.
I walked away with the exact same feeling.
No. There was no moment in After Earth where I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Not once.
Not even when they had like the giant bird and everything.
The trailer of After Earth made me like say no.
All right, I got a little bit of trivia here that I loved. Jerry Bruckheimer. It's the longest gestating movie he's ever produced.
Wait, when did it start?
Well, it started long ago enough that the original script was written for Clint Eastwood.
That's okay. So that probably explains the Benioff part. Because I don't think he wrote it now. I think he probably wrote it a long time ago.
Got it.
And then it's been rewritten by those other dudes. Because Benioff is fucking busy, dude.
No. I'm not giving Benioff any credit. He wrote this shit like in between like break times of fucking Game of Thrones season shit. Like, oh yeah, hey, okay, all right, now bring in the dragons. All right, it's gonna take us 15 minutes. All right, hold on, let me get on my laptop real quick. And then he roundhouse kicks him with a motorcycle.
Do you think he punched it up on the set of Game of Thrones, and that's how the coffee cup got left?
No, he was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, while he was working on this, like that was his coffee cup.
Like, Benioff, get the fuck out of the scene. Oh, my bad.
Grabs his laptop and scurries away and forgets the coffee cup. Or the Dasani water bottle.
Okay.
In 2012.
I got it backwards here. So it was written by a man named Darren Lemke.
Okay.
When he was 27, working at a grocery store in 97.
All right.
And he sold...
Wait, they thought it was going to go Clint Eastwood in like 97?
He sold Gemini Man at this point.
Well, I guess you needed an older actor.
I guess, yeah.
Like the fact that but then how would they didn't have that technology back then, or were they just gonna cast?
They're just gonna cast like Harrison Ford or some shit. I don't know. Johnny Depp turned down the role. Johnny Depp turned down the role in 2012.
And that's how you know how bad this movie is.
Well, no.
Mel Gibson shot test footage.
I disagree. This is how you know. From 2003 to 2010. The man attached to this project won Nicolas Cage. From 2003 to 2010.
It definitely fits his profile more.
It does.
I would say this. If I read the script and knowing how the script was, I would have said, guys, let's not waste money on fucking Will Smith. That's just too expensive.
Yeah, right.
Get Nick Cage in here.
Get Nick in. We'll go straight to Netflix. Might even make a little money off it.
And he'll do the whole, you're my younger self with me. Like he knows how to do all that. Like you're afraid of bees.
He's got a history with bees. He's got a history with a face being his own, not being his own, right? Like he's got history with all this stuff. It was actually due to go to production in 2008, but Nick Cage convinced Bruckheimer to do the live action remake of The Sorcerer's Apprentice instead.
Oh, good call.
So
good call.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's Nick got one right
Literally. There. Yeah. I mean, imagine avoiding a massive flop because you convinced someone to instead work on a slightly less massive flop.
It's like, man, we can't sign Bismack Biyombo. Go get Iyam Nahimi. Let's go get him.
I'm not gonna lose $100,000. Do this and lose $85,000.
Right, exactly. Tony Medley saw it. I mean,
no, he didn't.
He did.
No, he fucking didn't.
I swear he did.
Oh man, we're in for a treat. Yeah, it's been a while since we got a Tony Medley. All right, let's go.
Do you want the score first or the review?
Give me the review. I want to
right.
And then let's try and guess the score. Like, Baze, have you seen the review?
Unfortunately, I have. So you're the guesser.
It's okay. It's okay.
All
Amin can play the home version of this game.
Okay.
All right. From OneTonyMedley.com. Given the choice, I choose to watch film in 2D rather than 3D. There are two reasons for this. The first is that except for the opening titles, which are animated and obviously much easier to produce an effective 3D effect, the 3D is usually ineffective. After the first couple of minutes, it adds nothing. The second is that the viewing in 3D mutes the colors. I'd rather see brighter colors than ineffective 3D. However...
Hey, there you go.
However, the 3D in this movie is the best I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
It is effective throughout the entire film, and many scenes are far superior seen in 3D than in 2D. So from that point of view, this film might be worthwhile seeing just because of the 3D, which was the only reason people went to see Buona Devil in 1952, which was the dawn of 3D films. It's not clear whether 3D failed back then due to the lack of interest in 3D or the low quality of the films, but Buona Devil epitomized. I have a question. We're halfway through this review.
Yeah. So this is. I want to just say this right now. In my mind, as I hear Tony Medley's words, I like to imagine a little meter, almost like a graph, like
kind of tinker it, right? Like kind of teetering.
The score's going up. Score's going up. Oh, the score's going down. Oh, it just spiked. It's just spiked. All right.
This leads me to believe, though, we're halfway through this review. Did he see this fucking movie twice? Did he see it in 3D and in 2D?
To know that it popped and everything.
Yeah.
Like that. Maybe.
Maybe it's better because director Ang Lee and director of photography Dion Beebe shot the film at 120 frames per second. Standard is 24 and in 4K 3D. It certainly shows, and future 3D productions should be shot in the same way. However, this film is better than just the 3D. Will Smith is a U.S. government assassin who is targeted by his employers and by an assassin who anticipates his every move. I used to have negative feelings about films that painted the U.S. government as being murderously unethical, but that was before the 2016 election and the astonishing attacks on the Trump campaign by the top echelons of the CIA and the FBI, and later on President Trump himself. So now I buy into these stories.
Oh my God. You made this up. There's no way.
While Will Smith gives a very good performance in a dual role, Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives a sterling performance as someone sent by his employers to track him down. The other exceptional supporting performance is by Clive Owen. I always thought he would make a perfect James Bond, a lot better than the guy they have now. I generally disdain the car and motorcycle chases that are de rigueur now in these types of movies, but the one in this film is eye-popping, mainly due to the exceptional 3D and cinema verite style filming.
Jesus Christ.
Although it tends to drag at the end, this film is an entertaining treat.
9 out of 10.
No, it's a 7 out of 10, which makes me wonder, like, with as glowing as he gave it, what were the knocks? Just that it drags? Is that worth 3?
Probably didn't like that the black guy went to college afterward. Totally unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better review from Tony Medley.
I mean, and it also confirms what we suspected for a while.
Yeah, make 3D great again. That's his mantra.
Geez. Oh my gosh.
That is, all right. So normally we do Phobe or File. We're still going to do Phobe or File. Not just Phobe or File, but do you think, Amin, people should see this in the theater? No.
Unless you do what I did. Unless you already saw a movie, you got time to kill, go watch Gemini Man, I guess.
Okay. Phobe or File?
Oh, it's a massive phobe for me. Like it's as massive a phobe as this is a flop.
Here's the thing, and I've got to be real with myself. I am gonna watch it again.
Why?
I'll wait until it's on a movie channel, or it's like a 99-cent rental on iTunes. But I will. I know myself. I've watched After Earth like 4 times.
Why?
It's a curiosity to know if it was as bad as I remembered it.
And you want to kill Eraser?
Not all. Well, that's the thing. I've seen that multiple times. I've seen Eraser like 6 times.
You have been erased. With my mercy.
I mean, it's a phobe, but I know I'm gonna see it again.
I will never see Gemini Man again.
Maze, I know we've spoiled this movie for you, but I really hope you'll see it. In fact, I'll fucking pay for you to see it in the theater.
That's what I'll say. Maze, if there's one part you have to see, it's the motorcycle fight.
Yeah, it is.
Just to see how, because I don't think we did it justice.
No, and I would also say I don't think we did justice to the end. I don't think like the last like 15 movies, like from the third one jumping into the picture through college. I don't think we did that justice. I mean, it is so painfully awkward.
The bots agree. You guys did not do it justice.
Edge of your seat, and we did not do the ending justice. That's this episode, this very special edition of Cinephobe. Go see Gemini Man. Don't go see Gemini Man. I don't know how to call it at this point. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure to retweet these episodes, tweet them out, tell your friends. It is on the mailbag channel, as you know. Check out the Discord. You can drop in suggestions for movies, comments on movies in the Discord channel if you're a Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/countthedings. And of course, you can tag us on Twitter with #Cinephobe if you have any questions, suggestions. He's at Darth Amin. Maze is at Corn Puzzle. I'm at Talk Hoops. For Amin Al Hassan, for Anthony Maze, I'm Zach Harper. This is Cinephobe. Man, cloning is a motherfucker.